All right, let's go. What's up, Jeez? Last day of the week. Woohoo! Okay. All right, welcome back, G's. Welcome back to the last day, the final day of the week here. The weekly closure coming. The week coming to end already. What a week it was. A full week of news, of interesting data. Gold broke out of its range. Shout out to gold. Shout out to gold here. Woohoo! We survived yesterday. We survived. But here we are. Here we are. Looking forward to talk about gold today once again here. To talk about some of the things you've been working on in the back as well with the community. And looking forward to see if we can close this week strong. Heading into the weekend. The most boring times of the week. The weekend. Shit. It's almost weekend, ladies and gentlemen. That should be the mindset. Now, let's get the party started, right? Sounds like a plan. All right, welcome back. Good to see you guys. Let's see whoever with us. Make sure you smash up the like button, hit the notification bell, you subscribe to the channel, and then let's do our work, our deep work before we kick it off once again with the fam and the group right here. All right, our VIP is closed yet. You can sign up for the waiting list, so you can click on the link here in the description. You can go and sign up. Go to vip.ltaconcepts.ai or click on this link and sign up for the waiting list. It should set the foundation here. We're currently closed. We have no opening date yet. Maybe somewhere in November, something like that. Something in that manner we've been looking or thinking about. Somewhere in November, we will reopen our VIP. All right. So far, so good though. Looking forward to see what we have with us. We have, as always, Sia in the building. Petru, RTP Indonesia. Apa kabar bli? Bike. Or what they say in Bali, bagus. Mike's official gaming says, hey, what's up? Xuvian says, W Lorenzo, our gold cash flow creator. Yeah, man, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. It's a fantastic cash flow creator indeed. Martin Magallanes. Ivan, the crypto noob in the house. Grim Reaper in the house. Yes, sir. Juan in the house. Bearded Pilot says 2700 next week. Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the dollar here. Tian, goedemiddag. Goedemiddag. Martin. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do it, guys. Officially, guys, we have officially our gym. Our gym is kind of a alliance. Maybe we saw somebody coming to the gym here. Shout out to you today. I'm not sure if you're in the chat today, but it was great to see you. I was pretty gassed out today, to be honest. Pretty gassed. during my training session today. You have these good days, you have these bad days. Today was not a really good day in my opinion in boxing. But you have one of these days. The best thing is that you always show up regardless. You show up no matter what. That's the mindset. That should be the mindset. Tired, not tired. Stepping up our game is what we're doing here. Same for the live streams. We come up and we show up all the time. That should be the mindset, all right? So the winners is what we attract here in the chat. We only have winners in the chat, okay? But if you're looking, guys, if you're looking for a great gym, and you're looking for a gym where you can box, you can do some MMA, and you can train with us, then come on to our gym here, Lions MMA Bali. So if you're in Bali, and even if you're on holiday, I highly recommend you to still pop up. Come over, do a couple sessions with us. It would be nice to see me, to have a conversation, to have some, some sparring if you want to. You know, I'm also trying to improve. I'm also trying to become better. And, right now we're doing our thing, man. Limitless is on the wall. You can see beautifully that it's on the ring. So, LTA is going global, all right? LTA, the Limitless Trading Academy, aka the Limitless brand, is what we're building here, all right? And therefore, also, we are working together with a fantastic group of individuals. Lions MMA is one of those. So if you're looking for a nice gym, you know where to find us, all right? Sounds like a plan to me. I rush to the live stream after the after training. I rush to home, take a shower, come back, start streaming right away for you guys right here. Okay, fantastic stuff. Now, let's dive into gold, and let's not hold you up any longer here. We have 5 more minutes till the 30-minute closure. You guys know the deal, all right? Daily closure above the previous all-time high is looking very, very strong here. The only thing that I can say to you right now is that you should be a little bit more on the cautious side. And the reason why is because, of course, it's Friday. It's Friday. And if you are familiar with the Fridays, then let me know in the chat. Type in a yes if you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes down to gold, Friday closure, weekly candle closure, expansion a day before, on a Thursday. You know the deal, right? The weekly candle closure, the potential pullback that can occur here. We are aware of that, all right? We are aware of that. So if we see an opportunity of selling, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the weekly pullback in consideration for me personally to take a trade from. Why wouldn't I? Okay. Yes, price could come up more. I see that, but of course we have our confirmations. Our confirmations is what we're looking for. But what are these type of confirmations we're looking for? Well, number one, the dollar. All right, the dollar. We look always at the same tool. We do this always on the live streams every day at the beginning of the live stream. When we look at the dollar index, we look at the correlation coefficient. Right, that's this one right here. The correlation. Whoa. Let me type it in one more time here. The correlation coefficient right there, and then you can type in I want to connect with gold. There we go, gold. You type in gold, you get this chart right here, and it shows you exactly how strong or how weak you are correlated, negatively correlated or positively correlated with the other asset, and in this case gold. Okay, so right now you can see clearly that we have a minus 0.93 negative correlation. So we're back at it, right? Yesterday, when we came up here towards the 0 point, it was not as relevant for us to start looking at the dollar too much. But you saw, during the session that it started to come down and started to drop. Now you can see clearly that we are opening at the extreme point, right? The extreme point, once again, that means if the dollar would shoot up, it's gonna be negatively for gold, and the other way around here. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So right now you can see clearly the negative correlation that we have seen here with gold right there, minus 0.93. So if the dollar decides to do something nice here, such as it breaks above this high in particular, then I think there is a chance of a potential follow through for the dollar, a recovery for the dollar, and a potential follow through for gold, or sorry, a potential short-term reversal for gold here. Now, if the dollar does not do that, and the dollar just holds below this level and it starts to just sell off, then I think gold is just going to continue to drive further. And that's just what we are potentially seeing and looking at, okay? So right now, at the moment, you can see clearly that gold is still holding up very strong at this particular moment, at least. The 4-hour candle is starting to slow down a little bit. This 4-hour candle will close in 30 minutes. We also have a 4-hour candle closure on futures in around an hour and 30 minutes, so 1 hour later. This looks much better. So we do have to understand that gold is still holding up very well before, you know, we can kind of see the pullback happening potentially here. It's still holding up very strong, and the reason why is also because the dollar is currently still in that rejection mode. So as long as the dollar is in that rejection mode right here on the lower time frame, you can see it right now as well. You can kind of see that we are unable to break this high that created this low, and therefore this is still for now a lower high. And if this is a lower high and it creates a lower low, then, you know, gold is just going to continue to drive further. But, you know, right now you also have to take consideration that, you know, the US Open, the New York Stock Exchange Open, will be in 1 hour from now. That's going to be crucial, because based upon that, we can kind of see the real move for gold happening, right? So right now we have been ranging throughout the London session. The Asian session came out bullish here. London now has taken out the Asian highs. We are now in a range right there, and I want to continue to observe what happens within this range for us to make a decision to see what we can do once we break out of this range. So if we break out of this range, we'll see what the dollar is doing, and then based upon that information, we know what to look for. Are we looking for buys? Are we looking for sells? I am tempted to look for sells, but only with the confirmation of the dollar, which means the dollar needs to break back above this level right there. Otherwise, there is no confirmation from the dollar, and then there is no reversal potentially for gold there. So that's the critical confirmation that I want to see. Based upon that is a one single closure above the 101.119 here on the dollar index, right? That shows some strength of the dollar here. And if we can't, and we just pull back down and we break out of the range, yeah, then most likely you're going to see something like this for gold. Something like that, okay? So let's keep a close eye on the dollar, especially with that negative correlation in mind right now. And yeah, based upon what you can see clearly, a massive strong push, but the weekly closure in mind in the back of our head here, okay? So that's it. That's it. That's the best way to start looking at it right now. Fatima says, Lorenzo, can you look at the Nasdaq? I see a potential sell after the manipulation. Matthias says, Lorenzo, the initial short possibility for now on the Nasdaq will be an hourly closure below the 19,400 as the early previous weekly value area low from the last week of August. Do you agree? Yeah, we can check this out real quick while we're waiting to see what gold does here at these highs. Let's check it out real quick while we're waiting for gold to make a move. What's happening with the Nas? All right, baby. All right. A lot of ranging. Asia, London, choppy. Let's see what happens here. Okay. We're back in the range. We are back in the range. And no surprise, we tapped into this level, the fixed value low. Who's familiar with the fixed levels? Let me know in the chat. If you are familiar with the fixed levels, type in a yes in the chat right now. Okay, so you can kind of understand why we are looking for these type of levels, why it is so important to look at these type of levels, and how we've been responding from these type of levels. We are currently indeed at the fixed value low for the Nasdaq right here at 19,462. Right now internally, you can see now on the lower time frame, let's take this then to the 15-minute first. Then the ideal case scenario would be that we take this to the lower time frame. We also highlight this range right now. And we would love to see at least one sort of manipulation, right? One sort of manipulation followed by a break to the downside here. If that's the case, I'm all in for shorting the Nasdaq, you know, continuing to the downside here. So we take out the highs first. We swipe out the highs, we break the lows, we pull back, and we start selling off again, continuing further to the downside right there. Okay, why? Because we are now in a 1 hour area of resistance right here based upon that fixed level. If you have no idea what I'm talking about in regards to the fixed levels, then I highly recommend you to download our free ebook. It's LTA It's in the description right here. You can get it for free, and it will take you to page 38, and it is all explained there how you can build a strategy around this tool, and how you can actually start utilizing the executions here, okay? Based upon what you can see, tons of examples based upon exactly the same pattern as we are currently seeing right now on the Nasdaq right here, okay? So yeah, 1 hour has been ranging. We are tapping into a previous range also on the 1 hour, which is a much bigger range where we have been pulling back into right now. Obviously the move potentially will happen, of course, during the opening price of 9 o'clock, so 9 a.m. If not 9:30, which will then be, of course, the US Open, right? The New York Stock Exchange Open. So of course, on the lower time frame, what you want to see now for the Nasdaq is you want to see a manipulation or something in that manner. So either we do this, and then we go back to gold. We have this, we simply just break down. Why? Because we're already getting rejected from the highs here. We pull back, we wait to see how we respond, and we sell, or we manipulate the highs and we sell if we break down again. All right, we sell if you break down again. If you do something like this and we look for a sell and get stopped out and you break the high strongly, then what tends to happen is the reversal play, and that's just going to be something like this. You know, you start to continue to drive further to the upside as well here. So even if you get stopped out, there is always a plan B set up, and that is the pullback of that sort. So there are definitely some opportunities here. My recommendation is to keep a very close eye on the range. I am definitely tempted for sells, of course. Sells first before thinking about buying if we do get invalidated, okay? All that makes sense here. So let's keep a close eye on the dollar. What the dollar is doing here. Is the dollar indeed getting rejected? Does gold respond positive? If that's the case, you're going to see a breakout. And then a potential continuation. Would you say your gym for 1 month is better than Soma? It depends what you wanna do here. Like if you truly want to learn from some guys here, we're not as big as Soma is, but it also necessarily means that you're not as much as a number as in Soma. So it depends what you are looking for. All right, it depends what you're looking for. When it comes down to professional fighters, around 30% of the fighters are professional fighters. So that's kind of the statistics you can work with. Yes, sir. So far, dollar is looking weaker. Right? There is no doubt in mind that the dollar is still looking weaker. So yeah, let's just see what happens in this range. If you can break out of this range, and then see what happens with the dollar if the dollar is pushing down further. So yeah, that's just no sells then. No sells until the dollar shows some strength. Why is the dollar looking so weak? Well, what I think personally is that we're heading into the FOMC statement next week and in the interest rate decision next week. And we have been constantly selling off for the dollar here. Now the biggest decision maker is going to be next week on a Wednesday when we have the interest rate cut, potentially 25 basis point rate cut for the dollar. And a lot of guys anticipate dollar weakness based upon the rate cut. So I think right now it might be something that's getting priced in until the rate cut. And then, you know, where everyone says the dollar is going to continue to drop, I believe that the dollar might actually just look and start bouncing from it. So kind of a, you know, kind of a sell the rumor, buy the news event. That's kind of what I think is going to happen here potentially with the dollar next week. But yeah, it's going to be the most important week next week for the dollar, of course. And everyone has been looking out for it. Everyone has been looking out for, you know, the dollar in particular. So yeah, important stuff next week. That's why I still wanted to stream on a Wednesday. And I think after that, I'm going to take a break because I have a holiday then for around a couple weeks. I'm going to take a break from streaming because I need to travel. I need to do some things. So yeah, that will be a nice closure to see what we can do from there after the interest rate decision for the dollar. So yeah, definitely interesting. Definitely interesting, and I'm looking forward to see what will happen around that time period. But yeah, until then, dollar seems to be on the weaker side for sure. But we talked about the fundamentals. We talked about, you know, what the CUT data is telling us, and it's actually, you know, kind of a lot of an accumulation from institutions right now as well here. Heading to a cycle breakout for buyers, like large speculators. So very interesting to see them increasing their buys while the dollar is dropping further. So the dollar is dropping, they are increasing in longs right now. Okay, dollar flip. Dollar flip. This is going to be very good, man. If the dollar breaks out here and it closes above this particular level, then you're going to see this. You're going to see most likely something like this back towards this, back towards the previous all-time high, right? Most likely, if the dollar starts breaking out of that zone, we might as well can get into that break and that sell and then that pullback, especially if you see the dollar closing above here. I think that might be the catalyst for a bigger move. We have a gap here, a gap to fill for the dollar, a little bit higher, which is kind of interesting as well to take consideration, kind of like a magnet. So yeah, man, if that's the case, then the dollar starts pushing and breaking and closing above this level, this structure, then gold can drop and come down, and then, you know, I'm all in for taking sells from there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Blue Capital Vantage says, hi Lorenzo, I tagged you in the traders chat with your knowledge. I am funded trader on Top Step. Thank you for the support. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really great. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Congratulations, bro. Well done, man. Nice. Great. Congratulations. Fantastic. Fantastic. Also, a big shout out to the guys in the trading floor right now. Jolene putting in the work every day. I love it. Even in this month here, September, when it's usually much more quiet, right? The guys are still showing up here, so that's beautiful to see. Very happy to see the guys pushing, regardless here, pushing in the work. And you know, very important as well that if you are in the group, make sure you post your setup, explain your setup, so we can respond to these setups as well. If you want to improve, then we can get back to you based upon that information. So yeah, beautiful. Keep it up as well, guys. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what we can do in November as well. Once I come back, well, we're gonna talk about a couple things. We're gonna integrate in the private group, in the VIP. So for the people that are in the VIP and are listening right now, please come to our Monday event. Right, it's an important event that I want you to be at. Right there, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do our weekly analysis. Number 1, Monday, September 16th. I want you to sign up for this. Click on I'm interested, and then you know, we're gonna enlighten you a little bit here with what we have planned for the community. Ahmed asks if we reached the all-time high for gold. We did. Yes, sir. We did. We broke the highs, 2570. So far, we're kicking it off here. 2600 could be inside, but if the dollar decides to flip and starts breaking, then this could also be a pullback. And I would not be surprised if we pull back on a Friday. On a Friday, of course, strong weekly, very strong weekly. But hey, you know the deal with Fridays, huh? You know the deal with Fridays. Matthias says that Nasdaq is moving a little bit. Yeah, okay, we're still in the range. Still in the range, same thing. Still in the range. What is the reason exactly behind the pump yesterday in gold? Well, there were a couple of triggers. Number 1, the ECB interest rate decision was an important factor. I think that the euro and everything that we witnessed with the euro in particular was very interesting. We also, if you look at the futures on the euro, we saw a strong push to the upside here. This is the euro futures. We saw a strong break back to the upside right there. Now we do still have that layer of resistance there on the daily time frame here. So yeah, we're gonna tap into that resistance very soon. But most importantly, the interest rate decision came out for the euro, and that was driving the euro up, and gold, the dollar down, and gold moved with the euro to the upside here with the PPI coming out as well at the same time. But you had like a double catalyst for that breakout. The breakout. Yes. Yeah, since I would love to learn if you can teach making EA bots. I'm tired of sitting in front of the computer every day. Well, it's very difficult to create a bot. I still trust the most in our capabilities rather than trusting a bot. Okay. Just so you know, it requires a lot of data sets to build something that's good. And yeah, anyways, we have something that's called swing trading, right? And if you are looking into swing trading, then we're gonna have some really exciting tools that we're gonna share in the near future in regards to swing trading. And you know, I will definitely start talking and show them a couple things that we've been working on. But you know, there are a lot of swing traders that make more money than day traders and more money than scalpers because they just ride the trend. They found a way to really ride the trend. And the reason why scalping and day trading is so difficult when there is no or not much volume, you have a lot of inconsistent days when there is not much volume in the market, then you are unable to ride a trend. And that's why swing traders are riding these trends regardless. So in that case, less is more, and therefore you also have more time freedom. Now, the beautiful thing about what I believe in scalping and day trading is that you have or create a lot more knowledge, a lot more feedback. You become a much better trader over time by putting in the work. So I still believe that every swing trader starts out as a day trader to just become very familiar with the market, to start understanding why movements happening, you know, how the sessions open, all that stuff. So all right, baby. Gold breaking, dollar breaking down. Has to be. Dollar has to be breaking down. Yes, sir. Or at least still rejection mode. Okay. As long as the dollar is in rejection mode, then you know the deal. Then this is just the opening range. And if you start breaking out of this range, then we're not done yet, man. We are not done yet. We are not done yet. Unless we are heading into the US Open and the dollar starts opening bullish. Then that might be, you know, the reversal. But for now, as long as the dollar remains weak, gold remains strong. So, yeah, a break out of the range is usually a pullback, tapping into one of our levels. If you manage to hold in these levels and we show signs of strength, then we buy. And we simply just ride the wave until we're proven otherwise. Alex says, in my opinion, gold's going to sell hard today. Might one less spike up though. Yeah, if the dollar does the reversal, that's why you just have to look at the dollar, man. Now a strong negative correlation. If the dollar breaks and closes above here, we're most likely going to create an expansion further to the upside. Boom, to the top range right there. And yeah, then gold will start dropping. Until then, there is no sign of weakness for gold. So, or no reason to look for sells. Yeah. Big Boss Fishing says, Lorenzo, it's Friday. I decided to take a break. I'm on my boat and you are in my ear, bro. Addicted to say the least. Lorenzo, what do you say about all the chat haters? I don't see any haters, bro. It's minimal, man. You have to understand. It's like, it's a small percentage. It's a small percentage, man. You know, it's a really small percentage. It's a really small percentage. I was selling a reel from that guy, my guy, Trade Sharp. Who knows Trade Sharp here in the building here? It's so fucking funny, man. Let me see if I can find him. It's so funny. So funny because it's so recognizable for myself. It's so funny. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see where he is. Yeah, here we go. Let me see if I can just.
This trader explains, bro.
Is Mr. No Trade your nickname? Maybe, depends. But Your bitch calls me something else, but we won't discuss that. Welcome back, guys. My name is Sniper Entry ICT 4206911. Keyboard Warrior. Now open your mouth. Try me. Is Mr. No Trade your nickname? Maybe. Depends. But your bitch calls me something else, but we won't.
We won't discuss that, he says. Oh, that's so funny, man. That's so funny. I love it. Typical Friday, man. Typical Friday. Breakout, dollar breakdown, yes. Let's set our levels. Fixed very high. And a fixed POC. Bob says Trade Sharp is the man. Yeah, it's just funny, man. He is a funny guy. Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. Some of these London session guys are quite hilarious, for sure. Sato, is gold going to make a correction? What do you think? What if you go to the beginning of the live stream? Because I've probably explained it now around 25 times in a row. I thought I'm like a robot, like on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. We're heading there though, so you know exactly what we're looking for here. You should be knowing what we're looking for now, or by now. Let's market out the futures as well here. Range break. All right. Yeah, man, these levels, man. Range breakout. Okay. Then I have the fixed very high, the fixed POC. You tend to break out, pull back, and then the dollar tends to do the same. So let's take the dollar to lower time frame. That means the dollar is breaking down internally now. So let's say on a 15-minute, we have that break. Then what I want to see is I want to kind of see that pullback from the dollar here, right? And then that rejection, that continuation from the dollar. So if we say, let's say we follow this trend on the lower time from the dollar here. So let's say this is on the 5-minute. What we want to see is maybe you're going to see a reaction from here. So you're going to see a reaction. We pull back into this structure and we continue to sell off back towards that daily level, right? So if you go to the daily time frame, we have this zone right there, which you could tap into again. We tapped into it beforehand. This zone right there, we tapped into that zone. It's still, you know, it's not that far away, but it's still on the lower time frame far enough for us to get into a trade. And then the 5-minute, we want to just see that continuation trend, right? So that rejection. And then what gold does is it pulls back and it gets into one of our levels, and then we have the buy signal. Why? Because then we can just simply put our long and our stops below the lows and our, you know, risk to reward towards, yeah, whatever, man. That all depends on where the dollar is at. And if the dollar taps into the daily, I think that's your TP point for gold here, long. So right now I'm looking for pullback and longs, and you know, if the dollar starts breaking back above this on the hourly time frame, like we talked about, right there, you know, we're anticipating, of course, the reverse. So, yeah, for now, it's pretty obvious that we're looking for that break. You have a 1-hour candle closure now. It looks bearish, a bearish 1-hour candle closure on the dollar. So what you're practically are looking for the dollar is a next top wick getting set on the dollar index, flipping down. Flipping bearish for gold to pull back and get into our entry. So For me, that's that consolidation here. We pull back, we come up, we push back, and we look for long setups, looking for long continuation plays. And then you can say, yeah, but that's tricky. Well, as long as the dollar is weak, I'm taking it though. If the dollar, as long as the dollar is weak, I'm taking the buys for sure. I'm starting and kicking it off with the 25.70, 25.70. And then my stop will be around the 25.63. Something like that. So yeah, for now it's bearish until further notice. And the dollar needs to give us a yeah, whatever, man, a lower high. A lower high. But obviously when we're in that daily zone for the dollar, that's when you need to start becoming very, very cautious here with the long in gold, because you know the correlation between the dollar and the gold is strong negative. So if you're gonna look at the dollar now, and you know, and you are gonna bounce from that daily again, we got bought up quite aggressively when we tapped into it beforehand. So why wouldn't we hold support short term again when we tap into it again? And that might give the might give gold a hard time. So until then, we might have that final squeeze left for us to potentially pull back and then sell off right here. Okay, pull back, sell off, pull back, sell off right there. So if the dollar does that and pulls back lower time frame, then gold will do what it will do here. And then I'm all in for buys, so buy continuation see. Yeah. When are you invalidated? We are invalidated if the dollar, if the dollar starts, you know, either if the dollar comes down here and we bounce from this level on the 5 minute and we start pushing up. I think that this could drive the demand for the dollar up again, because this is a daily level. And then yeah, if the dollar, if the gold then decides to break down, then yeah, this is sells. So regardless, right, it's gonna give us a setup today, most likely. Gold futures is at resistance. Well, not really. I mean, there is not really a resistance here right now at the moment. We are in the all-time high territory. All right, we're pulling back. So if we pull back to this level and respond from this level, yeah, I think it's worth a sell. Sorry, sell. It's worth a buy. Five minutes. For me, that's on futures though, so I really need to really look at the yeah, the difference here, but it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar. Good day, Luis. I will be next week when the USA announced the rate cut. Yeah, so like I said before, if the rate cut and it gets announced here, could it be, and that's just a theory, a sell the rumor, buy the news event. Not a buy the rumor, sell the news, the other way around. Sell the rumor, buy the news event. for the dollar. You've seen what happened with the euro. You've seen what happened with the euro as well, by the way. That was a great example of how price doesn't have to come down here when the interest rate cut is announced. Yeah. Otherwise, keep a close eye on the dollar. Yes, we are. We're keeping a very close eye on the dollar. We are keeping a very close eye on the dollar. That pushed up will for sure drive cool down. No doubt in my mind. I might just put the dollar next to it. Let's put it next to it. Dollar rejection mode, 5-minute time frame. All right. Yeah, so the dollar finds some support here. That's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the dollar find some support. So if the dollar starts pushing up, then we know the deal. This zone right there, we have the daily level. We also can highlight the daily level as well here. From there, we have to be very cautious. That might indicate a reversal for gold. So these are our zones. Now I pull back into this range. So I want to see the dollar pulling back into this range, something like this. If you manage to pull back, then gold will get to our level and we take buys. If the dollar reaches this zone already and it's leaving us without taking buys, so we're not pulling back at all, then I think we'll start flipping later. And then I think sells become much more appealing, because when you get to the daily level on the dollar, you're gonna find some strong support. And then, you know, if the gold doesn't want to pull back and it just wants to go now, and it's like 25 minutes before the New York Stock Exchange opens up, yeah, then, you know, and we squeeze out the buyers, right? Really push up again. Then it almost feels like it's that final squeeze. That final squeeze. Yeah. Why not take an entry now on gold? It might just push up now before we start the retracement. So yeah, this is where risk management comes into play, right? And yeah, your trade. So let's say you enter here, okay? Then where should your stop loss be? I think below the lows. That's what I believe. So let's put our entry there, right? Let's put our entry where it is right now. And we know that the dollar will reach that daily level here. Okay? This is that daily level from the dollar. We're not that far away anymore. We might have one more phase to go. Right? One more push down, right? To get there. So if we would say, let's say now going to buy aggressively now, and we put our stop safely below the lows, then our risk to reward most likely will be not in our favor. So we will probably end up with a negative risk to reward. And I'm not a big fan of that. So based upon the structure, the ideal setup would be for me, price stepping, dollar pulling back, creating a lower high, and then gold creating a higher low. On the 5-minute time frame, I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to be on the 50-minute. This can be on the 5-minute. Right, on the lower time frames, but at least give us something on the pullback. So that's why. That's why. The other thing is, if the dollar continues to drop here, then we know the drill. Then we know the drill. Because if we get to the daily level again, then buys are out of the picture because our final target has been completed for the dollar. So if you pull back and you come down, fantastic. Gold can come down and pull up. But if the dollar doesn't come down, come up, and it starts just to come right into our daily zone. So one more time, right into this level on the daily time frame where we bounced from previously. Yeah, then buys are out of the picture for gold, because I think that we have them, you know, kind of overstretched the gold chart here. And then I'm only interested in looking for sells. So far, it's very interesting, and I think it's important to mention that we're now 20 minutes away from 20 minutes away. Yeah, we're 20 minutes away from the US stock exchange open, and the dollar is just tanking. Okay, and the dollar gold is not pulling back. So what does it look like to you guys? If you see that, if you take that in consideration, you know that the daily level is sitting there for the dollar. The dollar has no interest in pulling back. Gold is pushing up. We're heading into the daily level right as when we are opening with the New York Stock Exchange here in 20 minutes on a Friday. What does it look like to you? Listen, I'm very interested in sells, in buys, but if we are now pulling back to the daily level, no more buys for us. No more buys for us. It's only going to be looking for that manipulation here. Only going to look for that manipulation here. That's for sure. Yeah. And we keep up this buy, potential buy. We're not in yet, right? But if we pull back, potential buy. But it doesn't seem like the dollar wants to come up here and create a lower high. So this feels to me now, the way I'm seeing the market now, the way I'm seeing how we, because I'm reading the tape, like a squeeze. Like a squeeze. Peter says also a negative RR would be bad for the viewers to take. I think so too. I think so too, but I don't like it either. Because I feel that it's like what I feel with like negative risk to reward here is that I feel that I'm chasing the market. I have to chase the market too much. And some guys are really good at it, and some guys are really bad at it, right? Chasing the market down. So for now, we're pushing up here. As long as we're pushing up and we're not reaching this daily, and then it's gonna get interesting. Because if the dollar starts to push down again and the gold is still up, and we're bounced from the daily level, then it almost feels like we're gonna reverse. So I'm very curious to see what will happen here. Very curious to see what will happen. One of these days, and it's a beautiful day, and a Friday. Q says you have to break even from yesterday. Oh yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, we got lucky yesterday. Lucky. We managed our risk wisely. We never over leveraged. If we would have been over leveraged, we would have had a bigger problem. But we kept our head very cool. Very cool. Price came back down. It actually came down lower. It actually came down lower before it continued to drive up. Well, let's switch to the sell scenario. Well, it depends. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. If we are there, yes. Yes. I want to see that definitely happening. You see that? We're almost there. Almost there though. The first time we tapped into it, we came down aggressively, we spiked, and then we immediately reversed. So we might as well do this again. And just complete the range, right? And the question is also like, if the dollar just stays in this range on the daily time frame, we stay in this range until the FOMC next week. So the dollar will stay potentially in this range until the FOMC, and then it makes a decision during the FOMC. Makes a lot of sense to me. So we're now at the bottom of that range. That's why the daily support for the dollar is going to be critical. And that's why I think that if the dollar does bounce from it, that gold might reverse based upon the negative correlation we're seeing right now. So yeah. Yeah, so check out this zone. If price pulls back, done. If we pull back down here, we cancel any buy scenarios and we're only going to look for sells. One analyst I follow has a long-term gold target of $8,000. Yeah, I also know guys that, you know, have a long-term Bitcoin target of $5 million. I mean, yeah, sure. Have you seen a no top wick on a daily dollar index? Yes. We were looking at it as well. Yeah, let me highlight this on daily. Do you trade Bitcoin someday live in the stream? Not really. Not really. We do trade Bitcoin. But I'm only interested in swing positions. I don't really like to scalp the markets, especially not the crypto markets. I really like to just get into a position here and just you know, see what we can do from there. Why is it 25 to 82 to take profit? No reason. There is no limit here in an all-time high. You can easily say, okay, we're going to head towards the 2600. We have to wait and see. It depends where the dollar is at. So if the dollar reaches this zone, it's time to exit gold. And I'm willing to then look for sells. Willing to look for sells. Because it seems like a very aggressive squeeze here, to be really honest with you guys, right? I think a lot of guys were initially, and that this is what I think will happen here. And we have seen it so many times before, where you see this right here, right? You see this structure, and then everyone thinks, you know, a lot of guys think, okay, we're starting to roll over. And we're starting to sell right now. We're going to come back down, and then it still pushes up here. So all the sellers that entered in this range are now stuck in their positions with an aggressive move up. Not a slow grind. No, just a one big spike to the upside here. One big hourly candle, you know, to the upside. So then my question is, okay, if these guys are short here, then they're now trapped. Then where are they put their stop losses? Well, somewhere here. It's really hard to say where exactly that is gonna be. But I think once the majority of these stops are taken, yeah, I do believe that we are heading towards the you know, the reverse here, especially if the dollar then decides to roll over. Why don't we buy? Because it's random. Like, why would we buy here random in the middle of nowhere without, yeah, we just talked about it. Risk to reward, we talked about all these risks. People see price moving up and they get anxiety, they instantly get anxiety. That kind of voice is cold screwing all the sellers yesterday and today. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's correct. Well, watch what happens with gold if the dollar taps into this zone. Watch what happens with gold if the dollar starts cutting here. Then it's definitely no more buying for us here. Definitely no more buying. Then it's only selling. Okay, look at the US30, same as the Nasdaq, manipulation of the highs. Yeah, the Nasdaq is setting up very nicely as well. Very nicely. And again, we're heading into the open, right? We're heading into the open as well here. So either two things are going to happen. We're going to see this coming down. Ready to short it. Unless we bounce from any of our levels. There. So if we bounce from this level right there, the previous daily very high. So if we bounce here and we hold support here, we can still buy. Because it will manipulate the highs potentially. And that is going to be at 19,377. If it did this and it took out the highs and it then broke the lows, I would have been much more convinced for sells. Even though we're in that hourly range. Well, because we're in that hourly range, I could better say, because we're there. So yeah, I'm very curious to the open here of the Nasdaq. We're gonna trade the Nasdaq as well. If the Nasdaq shows up and it taps and does any of these things, we'll talk about that here, right? So gold's still going. I highly doubt, guys, that we're gonna pull back here right now. So let's sit it out and wait to see where the dollar is gonna go and where gold's gonna go. If gold's gonna squeeze up, then it's just a matter of time before we're gonna see the reaction here. Alex, hi guys, I'm late. Now you're still early, my friend. I think the better move will happen soon. Yeah, man, we have the open in 4 minutes. We are aggressively pushing up before the open. So the best case scenario would really be us breaking down. Final squeeze of the dollar and then just pulling back. That would be the best case scenario because that would give gold the final squeeze to the upside. And then, yeah, roll over. All right, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see how the volume opens up here for gold. We're gonna see if the dollar manages to get to that daily level, or if the dollar does indeed still pushes back up here into that zone to create a lower high to get there. That's it. So it's either this and this, or it's either this and then this, and then most likely this, so most likely the breakdown. Nasdaq is doing it though. Nasdaq is indeed tanking now. We have 20 seconds left for the open. So let's see what the Nasdaq does here. So I want to quickly look at the Nasdaq as well as gold. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to react from either the 19,379. Rosie says, so what happens is the big banks give brokers liquidity, but they work hand in hand to make sure that you lose. Now brokers like FOREX and Vantage work for the big banks. What are you talking about, bro? There's always that one guy. There is always that one guy. Editing trade, I've never had my trades edited on Vantage before, ever. Okay? Ever, ever, ever. So I don't know what you're talking about. What city do you live in the Netherlands? So originally I'm from Rotterdam. Rotterdam. But I don't live in the Netherlands right now at the moment. Yes, grew up in the city of cities. The city. Roy says, all I'm saying is check if I'm bluffing or not. Place a trade above the Vervega, bro. Bro, I would never, ever, ever have a 6-figure balance on a broker that I don't trust. Ever. I've been in this game now too long to know where to put my money safely. And you know, I'm not gonna put a 6-figure balance on a broker that I don't really believe, or that manipulates whatever the case may be here. So yeah, that's why I only work with a broker that I know is 10 years old, 10 plus years old, is regulated in Australia, all these layers. So I'm not a big fan of going with any small brokers, and I always tell people not to go with any other small brokers that you don't know about. So yeah. Don't you think it's reversal time? I think, yes, I think we're heading there. We might head there. But for now, we're not there yet, though, because we're still squeezing out some extra shorters. Some extra shorters right here. Very interested to see what the Nasdaq does here, though. If the Nasdaq breaks out, yeah, very, very interested to see what will happen there. Or if it pulls back to the previous daily fair high, one of those. Man, this is the ideal case. This is the ideal case. Let gold go up here. Let gold push as far as they can, as high as they can. Let's just do it. Let's just squeeze out all the early shorters now. Let's make that happen. And once that's done, let the dollar come down here and reverse, so we can sell it. That will be nice. That will be nice. But there is still more firepower. You can see it. Dollar is slowing down and still just ranging. Gold is just driving as the dollar coming. If the dollar becomes weaker and weaker, gold will probably keep going. So yeah, that's the current scenario here. Question is, where is that high gonna be? Well, it's really hard to say. You could say whatever number you want, but in essence, it comes down to me personally. To look at the dollar to see what the dollar is doing, because the dollar is not in an all-time high. The dollar is showing some structure. If the dollar finds its support, then most likely gold will does the opposite now, today. All right, Nasdaq's going. So if you said we're taking out the lows here, it's an absolute mess for the dollar here, for the Nasdaq. So if these lows are enough to take out the highs and we reverse and we come back, then we'll see from there. We'll see from there with the Nasdaq. There is still buy potential. I mean, there is only buy potential if the dollar is not there yet. And if the dollar gets rejected here, creates a lower high here, and it starts selling off, then you're gonna see this. That's the buy potential. But the moment we're in the zone, all the buys go out of the window. All the buys go out of the window. But for now, strategy says gold is so disrespectful. Yeah, it's you know, the longer it consolidates, at some point indeed it does break. You just never know when it exactly gonna break out here. But you can see the longer you consolidate, the bigger the move, the bigger the breakout. But yeah, after every breakout, at some point you need to start pulling back before, you know, looking at a at either a continuation or a new range or something that matter. And yeah, you can see now that even what we've seen last time here, we broke out of this zone. And I would not even call this a range. I would call this more of a, you know, chop trend. It had to pull back at some point. It had to come down. And same for this move as well here. At some point we've seen that retracement. Maybe it doesn't look like March, but we're talking still 250 pips. 250 pips to the downside. So, hey, the best way to time a reversal for me would be looking at the dollar. It's either gonna be just it's either gonna be crazy a continuation there, or this is gonna just be an absolute disaster in a couple hours. An absolute disaster in a couple hours. We have how long? We have around what? 7 hours left for this daily closure, weekly closure. Yeah, all the shorters that were accumulated here, they're gone. They're like taken out now. Let's check out book map as well here while we're waiting. Let's see. Some big orders are getting placed below. That's good. 25.95. 25.95. So that's right in the middle of this range. Right there. Right there. 25.95. Right in the middle of the range. Look at gold going. Look at gold going. Wow. It might get very nasty today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It might get nasty today. Yeah, Nasdaq breaking. That's good. Let's set an alert. For 90,000. Yeah, let's set an alert there just to see. Anyways, the Nasdaq is approaching the daily sell trend line. Yeah, we have the fixed POC. We are aware of that for sure, my friend. Yeah, we are aware of it. The only thing is, it's still not that far. It's still pretty far away. We still have some decent level to take consideration there. So yeah, we're still far away. 19,600 is where that level is at. So it's pretty far away. That is pretty far away right now. Douglas says mean reversion gold trading on a Friday is a max game. What does max mean? Max game. I need to know what that is. It's not worth doing. Okay, it's not worth doing. All right, got you. Got you. I mean, there's only one scenario, and that is, you guys know exactly what our scenario is going to be. That pullback and that bounce, that's the top for gold potentially. So I would be happy to see gold just going like an absolute madman towards the 2600 and just get down here. But as long as gold is just start doing something like this where it's just pushing and the dollar is just flat, yeah, then it gets very messy because the dollar can do this, it can do this, right? It can go both directions here. Okay, now if the dollar starts pushing up, gold will come down. And then it comes back to the range. Then it will come back to the range. Can gold see the old range again? What do you think? As long as the dollar does and start bouncing strongly, yes, I do believe so. I do believe so. I do believe so. Even also when just look at the previous ranges, previous expansions, we tend to come back to the previous all-time high at some point to retest the previous all-time high. But yeah, man, just for me personally, the correlation coefficient is the most important. So as long as we stay negatively correlated, we have at least something to refer back to. Something to refer back to. Okay, please come down, baby. Let's come down. Good. Let the dollar come down here. Let the dollar come down. That would be good. Let's get to that level. Let's go, dollar. Come on, boy. For now, this means nothing for gold, in my opinion. This means nothing. I think it's still continue to push and flip again. Would not be surprised if it does it. Would not be surprised if it does it. Life is so much simpler when we're in a gold range. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree. I just know where to sell, where to buy gold if this is happening here. As long as the dollar is not there, then, you know, this is the range we're going to get back into. And yeah. This is going to potentially drive us into the range, into the mid-range. We talked about the gold futures here, about the 25.95. That's on futures. The 25.95 is sitting right there. Right there. And if you would calculate this range, and you would draw this range right there, that is, I believe, the POC. Yeah, that's the POC. You see that? That's the fixed POC. So yeah, if the dollar is not there, so if the dollar is not below and not down and it's just there, I still see this as a potential buy. Because when I would, let's say, look for sells around here right now and the dollar still comes down here, then you're going to just immediately flip bullish. Immediately flip bullish. But if the dollar decides to get towards this daily zone and it bounces from there, I am much more confident we have potentially maxed out on gold. So yeah, it's just a lot of patience required today for this one. Because all of this is just random in my opinion. All this is just random. Would it flip back into the range means a fake out? I mean, watch what the dollar is doing now, right? So watch what the dollar is doing. If the dollar is pushing down and it gets here, then most likely we're gonna flip bullish one more time. Now, is that worth a trade? I think that's highly risky. Let's say you enter there, and then where your stop loss is going to be, like randomly here or here or here, or like where? Like there. Okay. Right? It's too far away. Too far away. There is no structure in the middle. So that's the all-time high. That's the all-time high in a nutshell. Do you think we'll see the dollar less than 100? Maybe later, but for now, I don't think so. I think the dollar will stay in that range. And the reason why is because we just know that we have this news coming next week. The interest rate decision, the FOMC statement for the dollar. And I think what the dollar is doing is just, it's building a daily range. I think the dollar is just building this range. And it's just building a range in a way where we just are going to stay in a range potentially until this news comes out. And of course, it's not going to be that long. So, you know, we're very close though, right? We're talking this range right now. So yeah, as long as we stay in the range here, then I think that this might still react, at least react. It doesn't have to, you know, be a strong push to the upside and go to the moon. No, it just has to react and respond to it. That's all you're going to need for that reaction for gold here. So when would you sell gold, when would you sell gold? Where would you sell gold? Okay. Yeah, so if the dollar comes down, we push up and we tap into that zone and we start bouncing or we start showing some weakness, then I think you're gonna squeeze out final people in the lower time frame, and then I'll just enter sell and hope for the best. Or we actually break down here. We start coming up. We don't come up anymore. We break down. Then I use this range as my tool of reference for a pullback, and then I sell as well. Whereas, do you ever look at the volume indicator or just strictly look at the VP only? I think the volume indicator is very valuable, especially applied on the future chart. Yeah, it's a good point. I think you can definitely use it. You can see it right there. Yeah, it's definitely something that you can take into consideration. I do agree with you. Because if you see the decline, I do think that's a valuable tool here. Yeah. Yeah, so dollar coming down. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Hopefully the hourly closure will do something here. This 1 hour is interesting. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. That's a 4-hour closure. 4-hour closure as well here. That's a 4-hour closure right there. Boom. Some volatility in the picture. Yeah. Okay. Brandon says, I'm keeping my eyes on the dollar yen for a massive swing trade to the upside. Just waiting for the news next week. Dollar yen, you looks exciting. Don't you think, Lorenzo? Cheers, brother. It looks very good. Very good. I'm also thinking about the dollar yen. A dollar yen long. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of reasons for it. We're still coming down, and I think we're going to continue to come down at least further a little bit more until we are until the news event. I think until the news event, I think we're gonna just push and push and push and trying to really squeeze out the last buyers, and then potentially get into this range. And then I'm definitely interested to see if we can look for longs from there, and then I can go to lower time frame, look at the LTA concept, start looking at it. There are a lot of signals potentially giving us that indication that we might be at the end here, at the end of that trend here. You can always wait for the internals to give us that confirmation. I just think that we're kind of squeezing out the final buyers now. So yeah, absolutely. And if you guys are interested in swing trading, we are developing a bunch of tools that are going to be absolutely madness for guys like that, guys that are interested in this stuff here. And yeah, we're getting very close to where I want things to go. The yen, for example, the yen futures, I want to see that final squeeze to the upside. We're extremely overvalued against the commodities, the dollar, and we're extremely bearish on the commercial side for the yen, whereas on the other side with the dollar, we have been coming down, and we talked about the interest rate decision, the rate cuts, and all that stuff, which I could, could perceive as maybe even a buy the news event, sell the rumor, buy the news event type of scenario. So yeah, the most important stuff will happen next week, I believe, for things like the dollar yen, the British pound against the dollar, the euro against the dollar, all the dollar pairs are setting up for something bigger next week. So if you're interested in swing trading, then keep a very close eye on it. Jardina says the dollar is already in the zone. I don't see it yet. We're still pushing down. Lorenzo, a random question. Have you ever practiced cold approach pickup? Cold approach practiced. If I practiced it, I mean, I don't need to practice something. You can just do it. No, I've never went there and said, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna start practicing today. I'm gonna practice today." No, I've never done that. But but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, though. If you're interested in that, I think you know, why not? Why not? So the dollar seems like it's flipping, and gold is still going. It's still holding up. It seemed very bearish. But we're not there yet, man. We are not there yet. We are not there yet. It's very slow. Dollar is very slow. Yesterday was much more XAU. Interested in the sell the day before as well. We were stuck in buys for a long time. I think we were in the trade for like 2.5 hours. Wednesday. No, 2 hours. At least 2 hours. The fourth wall says, anyone got tips on how to stop my neighbor's dog barking? Yeah, that's a good question. Ask somebody in the chat here. Lorenzo, okay, ask them to please stop them letting them eat my cat. What? I can tell it's Friday, guys. I can sense it's Friday today. I can see it in the chat here. The overwhelming sensation of the price action this week hit us. It hit us hard. I can sense it. We need a break, man. You guys need a break. A weekend off. That's the reality. But yeah, anyways. Let's at least get one more in, man. If you can get the opportunity here, then yeah, like let's try to end it with a banger, and yeah, we can talk about cats and dogs after. What about that one? Oh, man, so slow. So slow. Wow. How long you think we take to see an entry point? Well, the only entry point I would see is if the dollar gets down here. And it seems like we're getting down. Like I'm waiting for this candle to flip. And then we're like, okay, yes, we're going. And then we're just stagnating. We're just stagnating. We're just doing nothing. This is the 1 minute time frame, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and gold just, you know, threatens people to come down here, create some FOMO, and then it gets bought up again. So that's the gold scenario. It's kind of like giving you the idea that we're pushing down, but then we're pushing back up again. So key levels is what we need, man. Key levels is what we need. May I ask you what's the next level of resistance after the all-time high? I think the 2600. 2600 is where you're gonna find the psychological level coming into play here. I think that's a level that everyone is watching. So yeah, 2600. It seems that the best trading days for me are Monday and Tuesday, 95% win rate. That's nice, man. That is nice. I do like the Tuesdays. I do like the Tuesdays also. I do like Tuesdays and I do like the Wednesdays. I do like news days. In essence, I do like news days. Because if there is a significant move, there's always something happening here. For example, Wednesday when we took the trade with the CPI, that was nice, right? We saw that exhaustion, we saw that reversal. That was nice. That was good. That was really nice. Yeah, I'm only too shorting it if we get there. If we get there. I once again believe this is a move, a fake move for the dollar. Or we could see that rejection. And why chooses I have a negative win rate? Well, if you have a negative win rate, then it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing at all. I mean, if you win 20% of the time, but your risk to reward is a 7x, a 7-to-1, and you're gonna make money. You are gonna make money. But a lot of guys here in the chat don't like to lose at all. They like to keep their win rate as high as possible, and that's also a fair game. But then you need to at least win more than 50% of the time and at least get a 1-to-1, making some money. For us, I believe that a 1-to-2 is the sweet spot, though. A 1-to-2 is the sweet spot. If you can get a 1-to-2, I'm very, very happy. In combination with the win rate. yeah, so if you aim for a 1 to 2, then and you win, let's say 50% of the time, then you're gonna make money. Then you will make money, right? You need to have at least, you know, need to win 33% of the time if you wanna net long on a 2 to or 1 to 2 here, or 2 to 1 to break even. Anything above the 33%, you will win. But not every trade is gonna be a static, fixed 2 to 1. Some of them are gonna be a 1 to, you know, some of them are gonna be a 1 to 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5. The other ones are gonna be a 1 to 3. So the idea is that you can average out at something. Average out at something else. If anyone didn't join shorts, now could be a good time. So, well, if the dollar gets rejected, they were like, we're now in that rejection mode, then what can happen is that gold still continues to drive up. But if you look at where we are, if like for real, if you look at where we are now based upon that move, then we are up 450 pips from the previous all-time high to 450. And not a single pullback, right? Not a single pullback. Not a single pullback. So imagine buying here now, right? And let's take the 4-hour consideration. Imagine buying now, where gold now, where we're reaching this structure of the dollar here, like getting very close to it. Yeah, that's definitely a danger zone. When we were there, we could potentially pull up to create a lower high. I'm all in for that. Fantastic. But right now, at the moment, I think we're in that final squeeze. We're potentially looking for a final squeeze. And if that final squeeze comes, then I'm ready to short it. But yeah, in order to get there, the dollar needs to do something, and it needs to move. See, it says, oh my god, those wicks are looking crazy at the 5 minutes. We'll check out 5 minutes. Yeah, that's what I mean. That is what I mean. Indecisiveness, man. Indecisiveness right now. This looks good on the 5 minute. But on the 1 hour, we're just in that resistance now. And yeah, you can see that we need volume. We need volume. If we don't get any volume in the next 20 minutes, like 15 minutes, then it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Then we're just gonna be we're gonna be stuck. We're gonna be stuck there. And then the bigger move might happen later down the road. I still think that we're going to see at least one more big move before the daily closure. Cashflow Creator says, my trading saw a massive transformation. Dumped all indicators, started using the volume profile thanks to you. Alongside volume, insane win rate. Thank you, my G. Really enjoying trading alongside you. Thank you, man. That's great to hear. Great to hear you find your success with that. And yes, I agree, for me too. Always find the right levels. Never really have to worry about the right levels. Only have to worry about the bias, the daily bias. That's it. Once the daily bias is clean and clear, the levels come, and the levels are chosen already, pre-hand. So yeah, that's great to hear, my friend. So I would just not be surprised if really, guys, we're gonna see something like this. Dollar comes down, we're gonna do it one more time. Pushing up one more time, final squeeze, and then the rollover. Then the rollover. Then the retracement. Just one more squeeze. One final squeeze. All the guys that were selling yesterday, they said it right here as well. Remember? I'm not sure if you guys were there, but it was right there. When we came back down, we said if you want to look for sells, futures has to break below this level, because there was like a delay between the spot chart and the futures chart. Futures need to close below this level. If it doesn't close below this level, you know, we're going to push up. And that's exactly what happened. We saw that push there, and therefore you could see that gold kept going. So all these sellers that came in here, you know, they got probably stopped out again here. So now it just seems that we're heading into that direction, G's. We're heading into that direction. That final squeeze. Tirat says, I think gold want to go down slowly. And big guys pushing price up, then immediately entering a sell. Do not let anyone join the sell. Then when it happens, back to the previous ultimate. That's actually legitimate. I like that idea. I like that thought process. I like that thought process, yeah. Can we see the book map one more time? Yes, the book map is right there in face. I think that we are still... yeah, we're just building. We're just building. We're just building right now. That's it. Yeah, 2601 on futures is still holding up. So 2601 is right around here. And you can see we're flipping bullish again, while the dollar here is in resistance. So let's just give us that squeeze, final squeeze, and then we sell it. That's it. The question is, how much time do we need for that? How much time do we need for that? Lorenzo, how many trades you took on stream last week? Last week or this week? I think we traded every day. Every day. every day except for today, for now. Yeah. Today is Friday, G's. We're just gonna sit it out. We're just gonna be patient. We're gonna sit on our hands. Sit it out. Wait for that move. Wait for that volume. Wait for that reaction. And just do it. And just take it. There's a guide how to use the book map. Yeah, you can look at the book map right here. You can see the orders that are placed on futures. Why do I like it? I like it because it just gives me an understanding of where the interest is. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's just gonna, you know, I don't use these levels as support or resistance at all. I think it's way too subjective for it. These orders can get removed. We call that spoofing, but like they place big orders, then they remove these orders, and then there are no orders anymore, right? And then just right as when you get there, there are no orders. But what I do like is that these levels can work as, you know, magnets, right? And I think that becomes very interesting to see where, you know, these orders are placed, because if there is no liquidity, then price tends to pull back towards it. At least we're not that far away from that though. That's just practically this low right there that you can see here, that support that you're holding here. So yeah, I'm never using them as support and resistance. That's for sure. But anyways, the dollar is flipping bearish. Is give us that break, give us that follow through. And as long as the dollar is weak, I don't see gold dropping. I don't see gold selling off. I just don't see it happening. I just see the dollar coming down first, and then, you know, gold still squeezing up one more time. Let it be the last time. Let it be the last time. Let it be the last time, please. Come on, boy. Luis, I like how the dollar is flipping. I agree. I do like this. I do like it. I do like the dollar flipping bearish. Yeah, that's not a surprise, right? That is not a surprise. You say, yeah, why don't you buy them? Well, we're so overextended. Number one, we have to put our stops all the way down at 25.62, 63. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. But because we're so close to the daily level on the dollar, that daily zone, we're so close to it. You know, sales become super appealing from that moment. Super interesting from that moment, specifically if you get there. And it doesn't take much, you would say, to get there now. We're not that far away from it, so that it just requires the dollar to flip bearish and just have that final push, that final squeeze. Moses, come on, guys. You're still here trying to short gold like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday you were right. You were right. But that's where risk management comes into play right here. We managed to be safe, be on the safe side, not lose the trade. But this is different. Today is different. This time is special. Do you think gold will be bearish for the month of September? Well, so far the first 2 weeks of the month have been absolutely bullish, so really bullish. But right in the middle of this month right now, we're gonna have the interest rate decision coming out for the dollar. And that's gonna be the most interesting outlook, by far the most interesting outlook for both the dollar and for gold. So if dollar starts to push up and people are really against that mindset of like the dollar can't come up when the interest rate decision comes and when the rate cuts come. But you know, you have seen it yesterday with the euro. The euro went straight to the moon when the interest rate decision came out here, and I mean, there are a couple things to take consideration there as well. I think that dollar could bounce the moment the interest rate decision comes out, and I mean it's perfect middle zone of the month. We're in the center, in the middle of September, and I would not be surprised if we see a reversal. Well, where will we see the reversal? Well, think about this. Let's say the gold does come back in this range eventually. Now, I'm not saying that will happen, but let's say we were pulling back here. All right, then we create a bounce and we create a lower high and we start breaking into this. I'm not going to be sitting here and saying, okay, I'm going to be very bullish on gold when that happens, for example. Right, so you know it's very important that we do not close any daily candle below the 25.31, because if that's the case, I think then you know we were just gonna see prices just continue to come down. And I don't know, where's the monthly open at? I think the monthly open was sitting at 2,500 exact, 2,500. So yeah, coming back to the monthly open here, you know, then you're sitting almost around a bearish flip. So a monthly bearish flip. So yeah, we need to stay above it. We need to stay above it. And right now it seems that we're just trying to just come up as far as we can until that moment when we have that big news. But I think that if we look now, I'm all in for that. I'm all in for a short-term trade. Alright, this is hopefully we can catch a trade, then tomorrow have a big barbecue. Nice, that would be nice, yeah. That would be good. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Yeah, so the Nasdaq is also very choppy, man. Very choppy today. It's almost like after yesterday, we just have the most boring price action today. After the big move yesterday, Just very choppy, very choppy. I would really wait for this structure to be broken again, and stay out of it for now, because this is just this is a mess. Is a mess. Is a mess. Whereas, do you strictly box, kickbox, or Muay Thai? Strictly boxing. Only interested in boxing. I still trying to improve. Also becoming better. We've been training. We're training every day for the past year, almost every day, since or at least here in Bali. So yeah. Today was tiring though. I was very weak. I felt very tired and weak. And even the best days sometimes you have these days where just nothing works. Nothing works. You guys probably know how you feel. Don't have it that often. It's like usually I feel fantastic 4 days a week, and then at 1 day a week I'm just a mess in the gym. Imada says, why is everyone asking for sells in a big bullish trend? You want to go versus this huge buy? Better go to the casino. If you have you ever worked with the correlations? Do you understanding of the correlations before? I mean, I would agree with you. If you just simply look at gold and that's it, this is your only tool of reference. I think it's completely random. If you would say I'm gonna sell here right now, I agree. I think this will be completely random. You can go to the casino and put your chips on red. So because we're in an all-time high, that's why I'm so focused on the dollar and on the correlation coefficient here to see how strong the correlation is, the negative correlation is between gold and between the dollar. Because if this was positive, I would not be even looking at this chart. But because we're so negative right now, I can confidently say that if the dollar finds major daily support, it's gonna be very hard for gold to push further. Very hard for gold to push further and create new highs. And we're not that far away from it. So that's the only reason why we look at the dollar right now. If this was positive, we would never be looking at the dollar in the first place. Because yeah, it doesn't really add up to what we're looking at. Yeah. Lorenzo, if you get the chance to meet Mike Tyson, what would you gift him? It's an interesting question. I don't know why you asked this on a live trading stream, but mushrooms. I would give this guy some mushrooms. Captain says, I really appreciate all the reasonable explaining you do. Thanks, man. I think it's quite helpful. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yesterday's trade was man, we survived that one. The day before was a nice positive day. But yeah, like I don't know what we have been doing here. Just look at the 1 minute. And you will see. You will see here. So yeah, this looks like yeah. This is what is this, guys? Come on, come on, come on. It's time to wait for this 50-minute to close here. And if there is no movement, yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. I'm sure there is going to be that one big move today. I'm sure it's going to come. I'm sure, but the question is when. And yeah, we're not going to sit here another 4 hours to wait for that move. You guys know that also. It's just impossible to wait for that. So better give us some volume. Better flip bearish with the dollar now. Let's let gold start moving a bit. We can always put on some music, see if that helps. All these guys watching here are playing with their Lolos. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those days. Sitting behind the PC. But regardless, man, we're here. We're here, man. We are here. If you could say, okay, 4 streams, 3 trades, 4 trades. We took 2 trades, I think, 2 days ago. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with that if there is no opportunity today here. But you know, I just know it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's gonna come. But yeah. We trade on a Monday, so next week I'm gonna still be there. That's my final week for them for September. We have been trading the whole year. I think we have been trading the whole year. Yeah, we have been absolutely trading the whole year. We can actually confirm that, by the way. I think we have been trading the whole year. February, yeah, February. We started in February, and. Yeah, we trade the whole year. We need at least 3 weeks, 3 weeks off this year right now. So the best thing, the best time to do this is now, after the FOMC interest rate decision, for a couple weeks. So we can start Q4 with a banger. That's it. We can start Q4 strong. And let October do its thing at first, the first week or so. Let October do its thing. Let it develop a bit, and then boom, we trade it until, yeah, we trade until the end of the year, right? Except for Christmas, of course. And that's that you know, that's it. That's it. In the meantime, we're working deeply on all our necessary tools. We're setting up our swing trading portfolio right now as well. We're using a lot more fundamentals for this. A lot more fundamentals. That includes the CUT data. That includes the forecasting tool. That includes the seasonality tool and evaluation tool. And yeah, no, there are gonna a lot of cool things are gonna come from this in the next coming months ahead of us as well here. But I think we're moving a bit, or at least that's what we think. We're moving a little bit right now. And that is the dollar though potentially flipping. Eka says, hey Lorenzo, I just started the Stellar Light Challenge. Greetings from Hungary. Shout out to Eka's, my friend. Fantastic. Yeah, if you're interested to trade with us, either live or not live, whatever the case may be, then get your challenge. Sign up with Vantage. Get up to a $300,000 trading account, up to a 95% profit split. It's 80% standard. You can upgrade to a 95 if you want to. You need to pay a little bit more for it. But sign up at first. Why not just sign up? Click on the link and just sign up and get a free trial. Click on that free trial. Get a free trial first. Get familiar with the platform. And then you can just decide what you want to do here. Boom. Choose a something that fits your style, $50K or $25,000 or $100,000, and click on it and get a demo trial. Start doing it. Click on continue, fill in your information, and then get started. Number one. I always recommend to get familiar with the platform first before you start it. And once you like it, you can always join us and get funded. Okay, G's. That's it. That's it. We tried it. We tried it. This is gold in a nutshell for you today. New York session. Okay. New York session. Watch me close down the stream and watch price go. Watch me close down the stream. Watch price go straight to the moon. That's what's gonna happen. I can sense it. We've been there before. But yeah, this is just what it is. You can see it now. Typical Friday here. The big move will potentially is to come. I expect one more big move today. But it can be now. It can be before the daily closure. I'm going to come back next week for you guys. Last week of trading. And then we are fully ready to see here. But like I said before, if the dollar comes down and it flips bearish and it gets to the 100.8. I'm going to repeat it one more time. 100.8. I do believe that you're going to see that final squeeze for gold here to the upside. If the dollar then taps into the daily support, then I think that gold could start rolling over potentially here. You know, but the dollar has to come down for that. And we're not that far away from it either. We're very close to it actually. So yeah, all of this is very forced. I think that that final squeeze here will be absolutely incredible. You know, if you are kind of trading with the trend and you say, you know what, I'm going to be patient. You know, this is the previous range. If price just tanks, then this is the perfect setup also. But it requires you to be patient as well here. It's just to not try to predict the top now, but just to wait for price to break structure, create a lower high into this range, short it from 25.65, 25.66, and target the previous all-time high again, right? With the TP point right at 25.454 if gold just drops, but I doubt that it will happen. I really think that we're going to see that final squeeze. Dollar gets to the 100.8, and then I think it's more or less, you could say, a gamble because you don't have the exact levels to refer back to. But that's why you should just not risk too much. But you know, entering a small sell, I would do it if the dollar gets to that level, especially because you're heading into the daily closure. The dollar gets to daily support, and gold is so overstretched already. I would think that would be worth it. Yeah? Cool. Okay. What a session, jeez. What a session. This also counts for the NAS. This also counts for the rest of the market here. I'm gonna wish you all the best this weekend here. I hope you have the best. And you know the scenarios, and if it happens and you're still trading, then keep close on the dollar. Just look at the dollar index, daily time frame, or 4 hour, 100.8 on TVC. All right, dollar index TVC 100.8. All right, and see where gold is at from there. Cool. Yeah, man. Okay, one more time. Our VIP is closed for the next month or so until November. The end of October, beginning of November. So at least 6 more weeks. But you can already sign up with the waiting list if you're interested in joining us. You can click on the waiting list right here. Link in the description. Sign up, fill in your email. You get notified when we open up. We didn't do this last time. And then we closed down early. So now you have the chance to already sign up so you get notified on time. All right? I think that's the better way to do it. But we're going to be closed for a while. All right, but at least sign up so you know exactly when we open up and you don't lose sight. Cool. Okay. Take care, guys. Most importantly, you're not replying me on Discord, Lorenzo. I have not seen your message. I would never message you at first, so be aware of scammers yourself. You know. All right. Good luck, and I hope gold moves for you guys when I close the stream right away, instead of you waiting for a couple more hours. Take care. Have a good have a good weekend, guys. Looking forward to see us trading the last week or the next week, the final week for now. Okay. Have a good one, and wish you guys all the best. All right. See you. Peace out. Take care.